Hey, what is up, everybody? I know I'm out here all late in the night. Well, on the East Coast, anyone on the West Coast is regular time. You know what I mean? But anyway, I just want to say I'm back for a while. Yeah, new things are coming along. But before I start, if anyone doesn't know who the hell I am Barry Gaines, the CEO of a brand new film festival that's going to be located in Las Vegas called GainesCon. It's going to be geared to the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre for underdeserved communities. And you know what that means? That means that we are going nonprofit. Yes, my friends, we are now going to making a bigger step, going to make a bigger footprint in this whole film festival game. Now, listen, we're not the only nonprofit film festival. I'm not saying that. But how many nonprofit film festivals do you know that gear to the action genre? There's a lot to do with the action genre. And in particular, really kind of helping everyone, independent artists within the genre, obviously, kind of just get their feet out there, get their work out there, help them, educate themselves on the industry, help them with any type of process they are looking to improve on or even get started on. So that is what GainesCon, one of the sectors that GainesCon is actually getting into. So this is going to be really exciting. We're just kind of still getting going through the paperwork of getting us uh, for us to become a nonprofit organization. So we are there really, really soon. So right now, today is what's today's date? June 24th. And as we speak, our application is with the IRS and just going through, the motions. It should be a couple months, maybe 3 to 4 months. Hopefully that's it. And we'll be registered and we are off. And GainesCon will be coming back next year in 2024. We had to take a break this year because it takes almost a year just to get this thing registered. But in doing so, there's a lot of things you have to do. And one of the major things is have to get a crew. You got to get a board. So, it's a little different when when you get into this realm and want to become a nonprofit or just a business in general to kind of get people who you can really count on, people who can really be an asset. And the biggest thing too, people you can actually get along with and actually vibe with and be on the same level and that can understand the vision. And that's the key. So I was looking around and it wasn't as easy as you think, man. I mean, one person probably, but it really wasn't as easy as you think. When you think about it. If you want someone to be in be your business partner, but that means you guys are putting in money. You're going to be, putting in. You're going to have the same responsibilities. A lot of times, you're all liable for anything that goes on in that business, and at the same time, you motherfuckers got to get along. So, and you have to see each other like all the time. A lot of times, pretty much you're gonna be with each other a lot. So when you think about it, you're like, man, who can that be? I have a lot of people I could just hang with and maybe have a beer with and vibe with a little bit here and there. But to be that deep is kind of tough. So I got mine. And these are the people that are going to be on my board. I want to get into this a little deeper too. But right now, I want to say number one, I want to say the people who are now involved with GainesCon and going to the next level, I want to say I love you all. Thank you so much. We are going to make a huge footprint in this film festival field and just make a big footprint in the entertainment business in general. Trust me when I say this. I always say what I say and I mean what I mean. And you know what? This is going to happen. And this right now, anyone watching this, is the first step into something you're going to see that is going to be very exciting, that's going to blow up, and it's going to become something really cool and different. But before I get into all of that, let me introduce you to my board. Now you got to get a board. So you had a couple of people, so you have a certain amount. So here's my board. I want you to introduce number one. Here's my man, Jake Estrada. He is now going to be my chief marketing officer. This guy's going to put programs together and get us out there. And as you see, he has a lot of energy and he's ready to market this bad boy to the next level. So I really can't wait for this, for him to start. Now, next, I have Amanda Nelson. She's going to be my chief operation officer. She's my COO. She's going to make sure that all that shit runs well, make sure that the train is moving in the right direction, and make sure everyone is where they need to be and don't fall on the third rail. Next is my woman, Kristen Lee Kittle, my AD for many years while I was doing the World of Worlds and my other films. She's now my Chief Treasure Officer. That's the money woman. So, hey, be nice to the money girl. You know what I'm saying? She's going to make sure that all our numbers are in a row and everything is accounted for. So that's very, very important. And then on top of that, I got my lady here, Anise Jackson, who's going to be a Chief Financial Officer. Of course, more money, people, more money. She's going to make sure that everything kind of works together. So her and Kristen is going to be collaborating, make sure all our funds are where they need to be, everything is dispersed where they're supposed to, and of course, making sure that we are all straight. So, and of course, myself, I'm the Chief Executive Officer, so I'm making sure that everything is in order, that's moving along. You know what I mean? So that is me. So this is what we are doing. Let me see if I can get this myself back here. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. So that is what we are right now. Now it's just a couple of us, but that's how we're going to start. It's just a couple of us. But we have a lot of plans coming your way for GainesCon in Vegas. So, number one, we are going to do our best to get into a lot of sectors within the action community when it comes to filmmaking. Now, listen, action movies, the action genre is not just about running around shooting and running around fighting. There's a lot of things involved to make those movies the way they are. There's a lot involved to even make those type of films and even to kind of make them the way they are. Actually, to make them any good. You know what I mean? But behind all of this, this is the things we're going to pull out with this genre and with independent filmmakers who are to make these. Number one is mental health, because it's a lot of stress when you actually do any film at all. You know what I mean? So we are going to set up, classes and workshops and just classes on how to deal with your mental health. Number two, just your overall physical health, just to make sure that, it's all about moving ahead. Action movies, action itself is about what? Taking action on your life, taking charge of where you want to go and what you want to be, and making sure you're taking action to be around the climate that you want to be around. And GainesCon is going to help a lot of people with these situations as well. Also, diet, even to be in these films, even be part of these films. It's not just the actors have to look good and all buff and ready to go, and everyone has to be in good health, but the PAs have to, and the director has to, and the producer has to. Why? Because a lot of these sets require a lot of physical stress, okay, on top of mental stress. A little more than the other ones. Not to say the other ones don't give you that. That's not the point. But this here physically can take a lot out of you. And a lot of people really want to do these films. And when they get in there, they realize, whoa, this is a lot of work to do one of these. I'll tell you a little story. I remember years ago, right? Clint Eastwood, right? When he did Space Cowboys, I remember him saying in an interview one time where he was like, you know what? I am so used to in my other films, because his films are mostly dramas or westerns, of course, what he's known for, that he used to do like several scenes a day, a bunch of scenes a day. But when he started going to the sci-fi and the action world, when he tried Space Cowboys, I remember him saying, oh my God, I'm not sure if I want to do this again, because it takes like all day just to do one scene, because everything has to be set up, the green screen, the computers and everything else, and then the gimbals and everything that preps for to make sure this special effects scene, this big epic scene comes out right. And he didn't realize, wow, a lot goes in it. That's why he didn't make another one. And this what goes into making these action and sci-fi films. And think of it this way. Making these films too, even people who are interested, it's not just about, like I said, running around and jumping and kicking. It's about giving you a story that you can relate to. And think about like any movie, our job is to make you believe something that's not real. And when it comes down to the action sci-fi world, you're now trying to convince people about something that is totally fictional. Now, of course, there's going to be stories that kind of have some real events kind of mixed in with the fiction. I understand that, but a lot of times you were trying to convince you about something that doesn't exist at all. And on top of that, then we want to make you excited about all the action that we're going to put in to make you care about those moments when they do arrive. So to do all of that, GainesCon will also provide workshops to show you how to format a script, um, and at the same time maybe have uh, just to kind of understand what you're trying to do and what you're trying to say and how it's going to come about. It's going to be a little different than doing a straight drama or a straight documentary. It's going to be a little different, and you have to know how to formulate that. Okay, so GainesCon can provide that too. On top of that, provide some industry professionals to tell you about their side, about how to do things, what's going on in Hollywood and other sectors in action that you didn't even think about. What about, like I said before, people who do the gimbals, people, cameramen who actually deal with the cranes, you're going to have, of course, a hairstylists, right? And hairstylists have to be a little different than anything else because hairstylists can put their hair anywhere they want. But when it comes down to action films, when people have to physically be running around and everything, yeah, you may have to get a wig, and the wig has to be a certain way. You're going to be in cold weather. You're going to have a lot of fire around you. Maybe pyrotechnics. Those guys, they're going to be doing their thing that we're going to get into as well. And maybe the hairstylists have to say, hey, listen, that's a lot of heat on that hair. So that type of hair has to be a different type of hair. So all these things is going to come into play. So, and on top of that, just maintaining your physical health during these movies, during all of these action films and sci-fi films. We are going to get into all of this really, really deep, and just helping everyone kind of steer their way to this and understand what it is they really want to do, and those who want to do it can. And we're going to provide a lot of that. We're going to provide equipment. We're going to provide our three major pieces of GainesCon, which is showcase, educate, and produce. We're going to showcase people's work. We're going to educate people on their field, and we're going to produce differences. We're going to produce dreams, and that's what we want to do. And we're going to actually produce films, independent films. We're going to do all of these things. So we're going to do so much. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for all of you to get to just to kind of witness it and come along and have fun with us. This is all about bringing the independent artists forward who are interested in this genre. And this is a genre that people love to experience. You yourself, I'm quite sure, you want to see Mission Impossible. You want to see the new Flash. Maybe you want to go on Disney Plus and check out the new Secret, the Secret Wars, or the cartoons, or all these things that all of us grew up in, and people now are just interested in seeing. I mean, action film can even be something like Titanic. That was an action film. There's a lot of action involved. It's fictional tale within true events, but it is action all in all. T2. All of these movies started off with just somebody thinking about the idea, like any story. But then you have to kind of go to extra layer because now you're going to have like a physical task. It's visual effects is going to be an issue. You're going to have, a lot of danger sometimes that can happen around the set, which you try not to have at all. So you have to kind of think of it that way. So people who actually want to get into this think of this. This is what happens when an independent artist says, you know what, I want to make one of these things, and they go ahead and do their best. But a lot of times this is what happens. They realize, wow, it's a lot of money. First of all, I want to make a fantasy film. Maybe I want to make another Star Wars or something big. I want to make another, Lord of the Rings or Flash. But the problem is you don't have the resources. So I've come around independent artists, independent filmmakers that wanted to do these things for years, but they look at it and go, wow, it's just too much money. And it takes a lot of time. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do a drama. I'm going to do something that doesn't require too much physicality, doesn't require too much visual effects. I don't have to worry about pyrotechnics, all these things. I just have to worry about a set and having people, move around and do a few things and get a story ahead. And that's fine. But the problem is they're not doing what they really want to do. They don't have the resources or the chance. That's why GainesCon is going to reach out to many of these people. And a lot of these people are in can we speak? You know what I'm saying? And it's just underserved communities. There's plenty of them around the world. There's plenty of them around everywhere around this country. And we want to reach out to a lot of people out there who just want to get into the field, just the entertainment field in general, and want to know how they can do it, where they can go. Because every time they want to reach out and do something, they have to pay. They always have to kind of, get out their pockets. They don't have it. They have to go to work. They got families to take care of. But GainesCon is going to give many, I mean, many people a chance to get the education they want when it comes to this business, the resources to make their work, you know. And on top of that, out of all this, when you do make your work, there's going to be ceremonies for, independent artists, because we have what we our Dragon Award that's going to be at the end of our event, to give to, of course, like the top uh, film work, that we had in every season. So we're gonna have an award ceremony. It's gonna go to Dragon Award. You're gonna have the Red Dragon for the Best Picture, and you're gonna have the Gold Dragons for the other categories. So it's gonna be so much fun. So we have a lot in there. And as you see, I'm putting this all together. I'm kind of spewing it out to you. And sometimes I may get myself tripped up because we're doing so many things. But we're going to take it piece by piece and step by step with you. And as long as you guys just kind of just just watch us, just see where we go, and come join us when it's time, because GainesCon is going to be something very, very different. And I tell you this, like for myself, right? I'm not just GainesCon that I'm doing, but I'm also writing a new script as well. So we're doing a couple of things at the same time. So the next script that I'm just to kind of take a left turn real quick, okay? Take a left turn. I'm an independent artist like anybody else. I'm doing my GainesCon, of course, film festival to help independent artists like myself, move ahead in the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror world that want to get into the business when it comes down to these films. So, but I am making a film myself, and a new one. Now, I already made two films already called A World of Worlds and A World of Worlds: A Rise of the King. And now I'm writing a new script, and it's going to be a new film that I want to put together, and it's called The Guild. So I put together this poster. Now I put it out a while ago, and if you haven't seen it, I want to show you right now. It's just kind of concept art to kind of get an idea of what it's all about. So it looks like this. You know what I mean? So it's called The Guild. It's about vampires and werewolves, and the vampires and werewolves have special abilities. And right now, as the caption says, when Earth fate falls in the hands of vampires. That is a big deal of the story. And I can't wait to finish this script, putting it together right now. I'm grabbing a couple of my actors, and we start doing some tests on looks and clothing and walking and talking. And it's going to be really, really cool. And those four that you see on the bottom, those shadows, are the main four. And on the left hand side, it's going to be the baddie. And that woman you see right there is Madame O. That's going to be played by Daphne Avra. And it's going to be really fun. We're going to actually, right now, I have a couple other artists. I'm going to have Maria Levy as part of it. I'm going to have another actor named Olga Petrovich. I'm going to have a man, Sean Orlando, that's going to be part of it. I'm going to have a man, Sean Getter, part of it. A man, Robert Rios, part of it. Most of the people that were in A World of Worlds going to be part of this. So putting it all together right now, it's going to be a lot of fun. And when you see this, it's going to be really badass. It's going to be really pushing the envelope. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be action packed. It's going to have a big twist in it as well. So it's going to be really, really cool. And this is the idea of this film. And I can't wait to get all this ready to go. But right now, that's what I am writing in between getting GainesCon up and going. And the GainesCon is going to be a full-time gig for me, man, for all of us. For everyone I just showed before, it is going to be full-time. So when you actually submit any type of you send us some money, you want to contribute in any way, that, say for example, especially when you contribute your funds for us to kind of continue these you know these events, providing these services, that it's going to be surrounded by people who are doing this for a living, not just some people who are just doing it on the side while they still have to have a job and concentrate on something else for them to live, and then on the side do this. Where to me, when people do that for me, this is just a me thing. I understand everyone can't be in the same situation, but there are hours and times that are being missed that could be put into the nonprofit, that you're missing, that you have to split yourself in order to live and go somewhere else to work. Now, that's why what we're going to do, we're turning this into our full-time job. So, you're going to have our full attention. We're going to be right there. And when you give us something, we're going to push it to the max as much as we possibly can to get all the services that we promise you on board, ahead, moving along. That is what GainesCon is going to do. So, so I just want to give you guys just an update of what's going on with GainesCon. I haven't been on in a while, you know what I mean, because I've been getting some things together. And I'll be hopefully in Vegas in a few months or maybe by next year physically, but this is moving ahead anyway. So we'll be pushing and we'll be advertising about all of the programs that GainesCon will provide, and we are providing a whole lot. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Vendors, I mean, it's going to be people of all genre, of all sectors within the world of action, sci-fi, and fantasy, because you really don't have that at all. You know what I mean? And those films and that category, people just love to have fun and go to the movies and go to the cinema and just experience it. And on top of that, I'm a big supporter of cinema. Okay. So when you make a movie, a lot of us make the movie for you to see it in the cinema, just to see it in the big screen. We film it in a certain way. And when it comes to an action movie, a sci-fi movie, something that really kind of connects with you and it brings you into a new world, it's exciting. There's no place like sitting in the theater, just smelling the popcorn, sitting in those seats, looking up at a huge screen, and just feeling and just hearing that theater, just the nuances of all the sounds that's coming out of that theater, giving you an experience, and bringing you to another world for a few hours. And just connecting with you, it's nothing like it. So I'm a very big supporter of cinema. We have to keep cinema out there, and everyone that we are helping with GainesCon, I'm quite sure they want their film, they want their work to be shown on the big screen. Now, this is not just filmmakers. This is also going to be about assisting comic book artists, anyone who makes crafts for the action, that's the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror industry. You're going to have people who sell action figures. You got people who make action figures. You're going to have people who just make crafts within the world. You're going to have people who make games. We're going to have cosplay contests, for cosplay. We're going to have people who can sing and dance. We're going to have entertainment like that that's going to be involved in here. We're going to have contests. Like I said before, we're going to have workshops with industry professionals to teach you, to show you do new things. But we're going to even have things down to executives from banks to show filmmakers how to get grants. We're going to have grant makers there just to kind of tell you, hey, listen, we're filmmakers. All we do is beg for money and make stuff. I mean, that's what we do. And this is the way you can this is how you can make a grant, what they're looking for, what type of film are you doing? Like just getting into the weeds with everything you want to do as being an artist, as being a filmmaker. GainesCon is going to be this space that's going to be so vibrant, so busy, and just filled with so much love that nothing's going to be like it. I can guarantee you that. GainesCon right now is in its infancy, obviously, because we're going to get our license for our nonprofit organization. And when we start and when we launch our first one, you're going to see the difference between the one I had in December and then the new one, Not saying that the last one is bad or whatever. That's not the point. The point is that we're going to grow, and every year we're going to grow. And with your help, we're going to grow bigger and stronger. And we're going to fulfill these dreams that people really don't have a chance to fulfill. We're going to provide that because you know why? I'm that guy. I was that kid. No resources. No way I can do these big films. Who do I speak to? How do I do this? If I want to be a stuntman or a stunt woman, well, how do I do this? Where do I go? We're going to provide that information for you as well. So it's going to be such a great time with us, and I just can't wait for us to launch it. So if you have any questions, just email me, DM me, let me know what's going on. You have any questions about GainesCon, and I'm a filmmaker as well. So hey, if you need a cinematographer, you need a cameraman, you need someone to direct your film, I'm always open. If I have time, I'll go ahead and we'll talk about it. If I don't, I can always refer you to somebody else. And of course, I have connections with different industry sectors and people in the industry. For example, visual effects artists. I want you to look up Wild Effects, run by my friend Prakash Kamarajan. You just look on my page and you can see his name and hit him up. If you need a visual effects, So you need a score. I got Andrea Bellucci. Look him up. Andrea Bellucci, also my man Michael Vignola, another great composer. All these guys helped me get to where I am today, you know. And these guys came on board when I did my film A World of Worlds in the past 5 to 6 years, and where you can see right now on Tubi. So let me know, guys, if you're not familiar with him, let me show you this. So this is just to let you know, all of these people, everyone in front of the camera and behind the camera, is what helped me get to this point with GainesCon. And if you want to watch us, please, we really appreciate you supporting us in all these formats and all these streaming platforms. You can see us in Apple TV, you can see us in Tubi TV, you can see us on Amazon and various other platforms. You can see Part One, The World of Worlds, and we did this all on our own, no investments, all in my own pocket, and we all just loved the story, and we did the best we could with what we have. And this is an example of what I'm going to try to provide. Of course, what I will provide people in underserved communities that just want a chance to do something like this. Just want the chance to kind of say, hey, listen, I don't need to be something really big. I just want the opportunity to complete this story or this short story. There's something close to it. And this here, my friends, is a big proof of how you can do it if you just keep pushing and keep persevering and using your own money, own time, and getting people on board who believe in you. And everyone is just together and just joining forces to do the best they can. And this is proof that it can be done because I'm that guy, like a lot of you. So, oh, here's another poster as well. And let me get back to myself. There we go. So, anyway, so hey, all of you, love you all, and I just want to. I'll keep you guys up to date about what's going on, what we're going to do, where we are. Like I said before, I haven't been on for a little while just because I've been getting things together. But you will see my face a lot more now. You know what I mean? Because we got a lot of things going on. Things are building. Things are changing. GainesCon is coming its way. And GainesCon is going to be a film festival for all us film lovers. You know what I mean? And we are going to punch it right through the wall. And we're going to make a difference. And with you, we're going to make a difference. And we're going to bring people to where they need to be. We're going to help people out. We're going to make people within our industry, independent artists, just like you and I, giving us a chance to make our film, to bring our story to life. And that's what I want to do. So everyone out there, thank you very much for watching, those that did. And I hope to see you guys really soon. I'll be on again. And hey, keep an eye out for GainesCon. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. And we have a lot to offer. So I'll be back for more updates. If you have any questions, just hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. And I hope to see all of you guys real soon. Love you all. Peace.